Beautiful.
Hello, lovers of the world. This is Cinta speaking. I really loved the vocal performances of Babymonster in their latest EP, Babymonster self-titled, which is why I wanted to make this video. I need to be clear, I really disliked that EP for many reasons, which I will get into soon, but I wanted to say right off the gate, right off the bat, so to speak, batter up, right off the bat, what my main points were and what I want people to take away from this video. My main points are, number one, Babymonster has a lot of potential and could easily surpass Blackpink in terms of the quality of their discography. Keywords are quality of their discography. Number two, YG Entertainment is actively sabotaging Babymonster if they keep going in this direction. Just as a side note for those who care, I wasn't really in the mood to film my face for this video, so today we're just gonna stick to a voice over entirely, and I'm just gonna put some random clips in the background. I also have to be clear for those who don't know my channel, I have never followed Babymonster's journey. I didn't watch any of their pre-debut stuff. I don't have any investment in Babymonster before or even after they debuted. I was aware of the discourse surrounding the group, but not enough to dive deeper, meaning that I never watched any videos about Babymonster. I never kept up with any of their news. I don't know what's kind of going on within that side of the internet, if that makes sense. And even though I included a lot of screenshots of thumbnails of videos about Babymonster, both in my YouTube video thumbnail as well as the video itself, I actually I didn't watch any of them. I just never cared enough to learn more about the group. I still wanted to kind of share my opinions on this topic because I still in a way want to change people's minds. Like even though I don't follow up with Babymonster news or discussions, I still feel like the way that we talk about Babymonster can be a bit, I don't know, nasty, and I think not conducive to any meaningful or productive impact or change on their career. Like, does that make sense? Like, I don't think that the way we're viewing or talking about Babymonster is gonna help them at all. And so I was thinking that maybe if anyone cared about my opinions, then maybe the way that they start thinking about Babymonster will be different, and we can start, I guess, listening or consuming their media or their releases in a different way that will hopefully give them a stronger chance of enjoying a more prosperous career. I wasn't really sure about making a video about this because all I did was I listened to the EP. I had really strong feelings about it, and I wrote out the script for this video. And then I thought that maybe I didn't want to contribute any more negativity regarding the discussions, so I was just gonna post it on my Patreon page for free so that people can still read it at least, and I didn't waste all the time that I wrote about the topic. But after consulting my social media accounts, people still wanted a video version of it. So here it is. The last thing I want to do is to speak anything super negatively about a group that's already being flogged online. Now that that's out of the way, let's actually talk about what I feel about Babymonster. But even before we talk about Babymonster, we have to talk about Blackpink. Blackpink is kind of the reason why people are really up in arms about Babymonster in a way that I don't think people or K-pop fans were in regards to groups like Winner or Treasure or Icon when they debuted. Like, I don't remember people having such a visceral reaction to these boy groups in the sense that people were mad at them for, I guess, encroaching on Big Bang's legacy. And I do think that's probably a misogyny thing happening. That's why we have to talk about Blackpink first. So Blackpink debuted in the beginning of what many K-pop fans consider to be the third generation of K-pop. I still clearly remember when Blackpink debuted because I was still in high school and I watched the music video in a classroom during lunch period, and I discussed it with everybody else who was in the room because everybody who wanted to watch the music video were K-pop fans, and we all said the same thing. YG was trying to make another 21. It was evident not just in the styling and the construction of Blackpink, but most clearly in their music. The title track, Whistle, was definitely unique and caught the attention of many listeners as fresh and exciting. However, a lot of people saw Boombayah, which is their second single, as basically an unofficial 21 song. The song clearly draws inspiration from the groups that came before Blackpink, not just 21, but other second generation groups like Big Bang with their songs Fantastic Baby and Bang Bang Bang. This is, of course, companies have to have a finger on the pulse of what's popular to best market their musicians to as many people invested in a popular trend as much as possible. So at that time, people were just really into a specific sound, which is why a lot of the music of that time period sounded the same. No duh. What I'm trying to say is that Blackpink was clearly inspired by the trends that were present when they debuted, as well as the musical identities and the styles of their Sunbaenim, but the group was still trying to move forward, which is why they had Whistle as their main title track. And to YG Entertainment's credit, I do think that Blackpink's later songs do not stick as closely to 21's original sound over time, because the group could not obviously stay stuck in the past. They have to move forward somehow, and they shouldn't repackage the same music over and over. And so I do think that eventually Blackpink was able to construct and craft their own musical identity separate from 21. That can be like, argue about it in the comments, but I will give them that. However, Batter Up and Sheesh by Babymonster are not like that. Batter Up and Sheesh, on the other hand, did not emerge because YG was participating in current musical trends like they were when Blackpink debuted. No one else sounds like this except Blackpink. So the company is actively making songs that are recognizably Blackpink because YG wants to market Babymonster as Blackpink the sequel. But Babymonster is not Blackpink. For starters, there are more members, and so the amount of skill and talent available in the group is just more than Blackpink as a four-member group. I also think that for a group that's just debuted, Babymonster's vocal performances surpass a lot of active K-pop idol groups these days. A group in general is really only limited by the skill of their singers. You might notice that groups whose skills are not entirely on vocals make music that does not feature high notes or complicated executions. Sometimes you also kind of have to work around a certain member's weaknesses, or inversely, you want to play into the strengths of the people you have in a group. So I'm not saying you have to be an incredible vocalist to make music, but as a songwriter or a music producer or a composer, you just have a lot more to work with if your members have more diverse and versatile talents and skills. Therefore, Babymonster has a lot of potential to make a more diverse range of music because of their current proficiency. I think it's safe to say that Blackpink's discography has always been something that a lot of people has always been quite contentious. Like, people yap and yap over it. I personally don't like most of Blackpink's discography, and I do think that YG Entertainment could have done more to flesh out Blackpink's discography. Otherwise, why are people so mad at Blackpink for having so few comebacks? Like, that's kind of just general opinion of K-pop fans. That was the biggest thing that people were talking about for the longest time, that Blackpink were becoming like quote-unquote glorified models that only sung occasionally. YG was not putting their singing at the forefront of their careers and kind of marketing them more as influencers or models or actresses, and people were really mad at that. Like, they wanted more Blackpink music and they felt like they deserved a longer discography for a group that has been active for so long. People were mad that YG was not giving or catering to that desire. Again, I still hold on to the opinion that Blackpink was still able to craft their own identity outside of being 21's successors, because even if YG still wanted to copy the 21 formula that already worked in the past, YG Entertainment is still forced to adapt to the changing musical trends to cater to the group's new listeners, so Blackpink could never be a complete copycat of their predecessors. And I can only hope that not only will this happen to Babymonster, but that the company will give them more leeway than they gave to Blackpink, at least for the members' sake. Like, I know that not a lot of the members had the opportunity to write their own music or put forward their own ideas for their comebacks, and I just hope that maybe YG will be more lenient in regards to that with the Babymonster girls. Like, I know that even though we couldn't have that for Blackpink, we can still hope for a better future for the people that came after them. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I really don't mind or care too much about Babymonster. I was just content to sit back and not really comment on their journey because I know that over time things will shift. Of course, things won't stay the same. Babymonster will hopefully gain more agency as time goes on, the longer time they spend in the industry and forging connections and stuff. But this changed after listening to Babymonsters, and then I got even more pissed off at the company forcing them to be a knockoff Blackpink. This is a not super fleshed out review of the Babymonster EP. I thought it was abysmal only because it was so clear to me that YG Entertainment is not ready to let Blackpink go. And the company needs to let Babymonster breathe outside of being Blackpink's shadow to develop their own sound and musical identity, give them new concepts because the members deserve more than just the leftovers of Blackpink's fan base. The vocal performances on the EP are really good. Like Beyonce, Ariana Grande, Lady Gaga, Adele levels of talent are present in the EP. So I don't understand why YG Entertainment is boxing them into their predecessor's image like it's such a disservice to both groups. Let Blackpink be Blackpink and give Babymonster a chance to be something new and unique. What stood out to me the most in listening to this EP is that all of the B-sides are ballads. So just make the group a more ballad-focused or vocals-heavy group like Mamamoo. If you keep putting Babymonster in a Blackpink-shaped box, all this is going to do is stifle their potential and add fuel to the fire of the hate train that's clearly accelerating because for some reason, YG Entertainment cannot envision a future for a group if that group's identity is not something that's already been done before. You get what I mean? Like, it speaks to the short-sightedness and lack of creativity on the company's part. Everything else is clearly high quality. The mixing and mastering of the music itself is really good. The music videos are well edited. The sets look expensive. The costumes are ahead of the curve. The choreography is well thought through. So I truly don't know what high up executive needs to retire and get replaced because the lack of money clearly isn't the problem. It's just the lack of strategy and foresight. I mean, let's take a look at YG Entertainment's competitors. Again, I'm not saying that, one entertainment company is better than the other. And I'm obviously showing a little bit of bias because, as I said, I don't listen to a lot of YG artists in general. Their style is usually not my type. I do listen to some of their music, but not a lot. I do end up listening to a lot more SM Entertainment or Hybe or JYP or even the smaller entertainment companies that house the mid-tier successful groups. A competitive industry like this, you do have to compete and compare with whoever else is in the industry. So let's look at what everyone else is doing. SM Entertainment, for all its flaws, is incredibly smart and strategic. They have several active girl groups, but there's not a single one that overlaps with each other in terms of musical identity and direction. Red Velvet and aespa's images are incredibly distinct from each other. Sure, they may have the same producers, they probably have the same vocal teachers and choreographers, because that's just what happens when two groups belong to the same company. They have to share the same resources. However, there is no denying that when you think of Red Velvet or when you think of aespa, they conjure up different images in the minds of the wider K-pop audience. Same thing with JYP Entertainment with their groups Twice and Mixed and ITZY. They're obviously all occupying different genres within K-pop, different niches. They are catering to different audiences of different age levels. So I don't understand why YG can't do that. And I don't understand why YG is themselves feeding into this hype where they are putting a lot of emphasis on like, oh yeah, this is our first ever girl group since Blackpink is leaving. And all you're doing is, I think, setting up your group members for a lot of scrutiny because you're trying to not only build them up to be the predecessor of a group that was like super, super famous, but you're also like making them like the shadow of somebody else. Aside from the vocal performances and the mixing, it is such a lackluster project with no direction. Like, sure, it's got the 2 title tracks that supposedly introduce what Babymonster is going to be, which are Sheesh and Batter Up. But then why are the B-sides ballad focused? Like, I understand that groups have done this type of thing before where they are characterized by 2 different kinds of musical styles. Red Velvet have their red and their velvet sides, which is like Red is the more upbeat and bright and pop sound, whereas Velvet is a lot more slowed down, down tempo R&B stuff. And then even Blackpink have a similar concept where they've got their black, strong, and edgy and feistier side, and their pink sides, which are, more feminine and more, I guess, upbeat and pop. But in this era of K-pop, where everyone raises their pitchforks and torches at the mere thought of their idols lip syncing, I don't really get why YG Entertainment doesn't just lean into the vocal heavy songs and ditch the girl crush concept altogether for Babymonster. The vocal performances are truly phenomenal, and frankly, I think the group should just stick to this because let's face it, there are not a lot of groups that can boast having this many talented vocalists. And the oversaturation of the girl crush concept within the K-pop genre, I think, has fatigued many fans, and I truly cannot imagine what else YG Entertainment can offer in that department that hasn't already been said and done. Like, let's face it, everyone hated Batter Up and everyone hated Sheesh. So I think it's fair to say that we should maybe go back to the drawing board. Girl Crush gets repackaged, not every year, every so often, and because of the cyclical nature of the pop music industry, things come in and out of fashion regularly. 2019 to 2021 even. I think that was like a solid period where everyone was doing girl crush concepts. And I think that what we've seen is a swing in the complete opposite direction with the rise of things like coquette or girlcore or ballet core or like super ultra feminine girly pop styles, aesthetics becoming really, really big. We're in a period of where K-pop is really enamored with these super girly pop aesthetics in a way that I haven't seen since like 2015. So what I'm trying to say is that YG is not up to date. Like, YG is not operating the same level that we are. Like, I think they're stuck in the past. They're stuck in the past. And if they still want to do girl crush concepts, fine, but you can't just be recycling the same thing over and over again because people are going to get tired, and people are tired. People are sick of it. I'm sick of it. And I'm sure the girls are sick of it too. Like, maybe let's ask them what they want to do. You know what I mean? Like, most of them are like quite young, and it is a bit weird that you're boxing them into this image that's it. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening to my rant. In conclusion, I think YG Entertainment needs to leave the past and Blackpink behind when Blackpink themselves have left Blackpink behind, and the company needs to focus on the present and the future. Babymonster is the company's present and future. And if the company doesn't act accordingly, they will slip from their fingers. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my long ass rant. All my social media links are down in the description if you want to support my work. I try not to make this channel focus on the negatives and try to focus on the positives, but I will let myself be a hater for just this once. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Bye!